What is up, everyone? Zach here, bringing you a Team Taste game of the day. You want taste? Today, on the left, we have Zach playing Quad Sylveon, and on the right, we have George playing the Trash Avalanche Quad Garbodor. Warning you now, Sylveon is a very slow deck that slows the game down, so I bumped up the speed to a little bit, compensate a little bit for it, but yeah, Zach's just gonna Energy Evolve right away, get that Sylveon out, pass over to George. George starts a Drampa-GX. He's gonna bench rubbish, use Tapu-Lele, Wonder Tag, try to find a supporter. A lot of times you Lele for the Lily. There we go. Get that 8 cards turn 1. Yep, I'm gonna grab that Lily. Let's see. Yeah, this Sylveon deck is very reminiscent of that Quad Lapras deck that made a showing the last format. George gonna Lily, drop to 8 cards. If it was any other turn, he'd only drop to 6. But that Drampa's first attack is Righteous Edge. It's very similar to an old Cobalion EX's. And it does 20 damage and discards a special energy if they have it. Zach's just going to go ahead, evolve, and play on those new Sylveons looking so nice. And then Drampa-GX's second attack does 80 plus another 70 if any of your bench Pokemon have damage on them for 3 energies. So they can be pretty good. Zach's just going to go ahead, use Sylveon's first attack, Ribbon, Fairy Ribbon, something like that. Search your deck for 3 cards, 3 any cards, and put them into your deck, or into your hand. So George is usually going to be looking for an N after the magical ribbon. There we go. I remembered it now. Sylveon's second attack does 110 with no other added effects for Fairy Double Colorless. But usually you don't want to use it until you got rid of all your opponent's energy. So Zach's looking for one of his 4 Flare Grunts. George's going to go ahead, Sycamore away. Paralycity looks like Delinquent, Flare Grunt, and N. Yep. He's evolved up into the one Garbodor, the new one. It has a attack Trash Avalanche, 20 times the number of items in your discard. So Zach's going to do everything he can not to put any items in his discard. So George is going to go ahead, attach a Choice Band, and use Righteous Edge for 50. It does plus 30 to GXs. Zach's going to go ahead, Flare Grunt that energy off. And then probably, going to Magical Ribbon for 3 cards. Probably looking for some more Energy Denial. My favorite's when you go ahead, search up, and they wait until you shuffle up. And then the first thing they do is play N. Not what George is going to do, but George is going to attach a Psychic to the Drampa. Play down Altar of the Moon. Gives anything with Psychic or Dark energy 2 less retreat. Yep. George is going to Tapu-Lele for the N. Ooh, getting creative with finding those ends. Tapu-Lele also has a pretty decent attack for 2 colorless. It does 20 times the number of energy attached to both Pokemon. So it's used as kind of like a backup attacker. It's not the worst to put down. So both players going to shuffle up, draw 6. Who's actually got that E-Hammer, but he's trying not to play items. I believe he only has 1 or so in his discard right now, making that Garbodor very ineffective. George going to attach. Nope, he already attached for turn. Ooh. Trying to get some cheating caught on stream or something. George going to Righteous Edge for another 50. That 20 damage on the Righteous Edge doesn't seem like much, but when you add that Choice Band to it, it really starts adding up. Zach's gonna VS Seeker the N and play it. Probably looking for a max potion. He still has 80 HP left. So as long as George doesn't get a double colorless, he's safe for another turn. Both players still get in 6 cards. Now Sylveon's GX attack, Plie GX, French, I believe. Plie. Makes it so your opponent has to, or you choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon to pick up. It can be quite clutch sometimes, especially against like something like Greninja where they water duplicates and don't have the Froakies to put back down. So Zach's gonna go into his deck, grab 3 cards, probably gonna grab like Max Potion and another energy to attack with, along with the supporter. Yep, I do see that Max Potion and a Flare Grunt. Yep, I believe that's exactly what he grabbed. Is George gonna evolve up into the Garbodor? Ooh, George does get the double colorless, so it takes the early 2 prizes. Zach's going to be looking to get those energies off. Zach's going to Flare Grunt that double colorless off, and then use Magical Ribbon. Gonna go on. He doesn't really want to grab the hammers so much, so if he has them in the discard, it's just going to power up that Garb. He's trying to get to a spot where George can never use the Garb. George is going to draw for turn. Probably looking for another double colorless. That turns that Righteous Edge, like 4-hit into a nice 2-hit. George gonna VS Seeker. Oop, gonna grab a Flare Grunt actually. Zach doesn't have any fairy energy to replace it yet. Ooh, and George uses Drampa-GX's attack. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 10 cards. Zach's saying, I'm just gonna play an N anyways. I'm not letting you get 10 cards in your hand. Kind of a risk reward for George. He didn't really have anything going on in his hand anyway, so Zach does get the fairy energy from the N. Gonna attach fairy energy, play down the Perilous City, and Magical Ribbon. Just gonna keep searching and searching. Your opponent only has so many Ns they can play. Eventually, that will stick. Ooh, he has that Delinquent in hand. Could do some damage. Yep. George gonna play down that Altar of the Moon. Does he have that double colorless or nope? Looks like he's just gonna Righteous Edge for 50 after attaching to the Wob. Yep. Zach says Delinquent, get rid of those 3 cards in your hand. Getting rid of another Stadium. Oop, and the battery on the camera just died, so Zach Magical Ribbon, and I don't think anything was lost. But yep, George gonna he gets the Sycamore top deck. That is not what you want to see after a Delinquent. Looks like Zach went and got that Max Potion just to be safe. Wants to be ready for it this time. Let's see. George looks like he's deciding where to attach that energy to. Gonna attach it up to the Drampa and use Righteous Edge again for that 50. His X and a Flare Grunt. And he chooses not to Max Potion, so he's gonna Magical Ribbon, grab an energy, and just kind of pray that George doesn't hit the double colorless. I believe we're only playing 3 double colorless in the deck right now. Possibly 2, so it's not super likely George hits it, but still has a few left in play at least. Or at least 1. George gonna Ultra Ball, fail it. And Righteous Edge. Yep, Zach's just going to Max Potion again, attach an energy. Playing against it is super frustrating. Zach's going to VS Seeker for the Flare Grunt, and then Magical Ribbon again. He's doing everything in his power to make it so George can't do anything. Ooh, George is going to Kooky, draw 2 cards, and pass. And now Zach's... Now that George gets isn't attacking, he's gonna play Handiwork. Ooh, and hits both tails. I'm just gonna Magical Ribbon. At this point, Zach's running out of supporters, so it looks like he's trying to grab some supporters. Oh, and George just gonna end. At that point, Zach's hand was bigger than his deck, so he had everything he wanted. Both players gonna shuffle up. George only gets 4. Still looking for that energy. Does he get it? Nope. It passes right on over to Zach. The good thing about the ends for Zach is he's still getting all his 6 cards from it. He's going to just Magical Ribbon. Doesn't need to do anything else. Probably looking for some more rockets. Hit some the last of George's energy. George going to play Trainer's Mail. Ooh, he finds an energy in that. Finds a Choice Man, attaches it to the Garb. Going to shuffle on up. George counting Zach's items. I believe there were like 4 in the discard at that point or so. Yep, George gonna play that in again. George's deck's getting really thin. That's Zach's goal right now, is to win on the deck out. Zach gets his 6 cards. I see one puzzle. George gonna Ultra Ball. Probably just don't know. I think he missed an energy, so he's trying to make it so he wants to hit it. And then he's gonna pass on over, I believe. Maybe stare down. I might have missed Zach draw on a card, but yep. Zach gonna VS Seeker for the handiwork. Gonna miss the first tails and hits 1 heads, discarding 2 cards. George didn't want those anyways. Just counting his deck, looks to be about 9 or so left. 9 cards. Zach's in a magical ribbon, and George goes, nope, and courteous. Doesn't waste anyone's time. Zach gets that max potion again. Yep, George gonna Righteous Edge. Let's see if Zach can get that energy off. Will George be able to take his 4 prize before Zach decks him out? Zach gonna Lysander up that Tapu-Lele. Tapu-Lele only has 1 retreat. It's pretty good. Another reason it's not that negative to play it. George gonna attach a Float Stone and promote. I think it was just shy on the knockout with Garb. So it looks like he's going to attach a double colorless. Oh, he probably didn't have the Psychic to attack. And he's going to use Berserk for 110. Ooh, and Zach's just going to max potion attach right away. That's frustrating. Checks George's deck. I believe there's 4 cards left. So Zach's going to double puzzle for Team Rockets and a VS Seeker. Gonna play the handiwork. Ooh, George catches it. Flips tails and tails. Ooh, the dream is still alive. And then Zach's gonna magical ribbon. George is running low on cards in his hand too, so an N would be really good too. Yep. Now George gets to Berserk again for 110. Is there any healing left? Maybe Zach's gonna knock off that energy. Yep, Zach's just gonna end. Ooh, Zach's getting really thin. Zach's gonna get 3 cards, or 6 cards. He's actually gonna retreat into the other Sylveon. And magical ribbon with this one. George is gonna draw. And he's gonna Z-scoop. Zach goes, no, I want to play the handiwork. Yep, would have hit George's last card. But, yep, this Sylveon is super annoying. It's hard putting up any of the games for it, just because so many of them are one-sided one way or another. It kind of just goes in Sylveon's way, where your opponent does nothing, or your opponent just kind of steamrolls Sylveon and has everything they need. But thanks for watching, guys. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Later.